Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. And we are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is to help understand why they have become so stuck or so immersed in a toxic relationship with a psychopath that they know is not good for them, but they can't seem to leave. They can't seem to get it together. They can't kind of motivate themselves. They know it, but they can't do it. And so we're going to really zoom in and focus in on the problem of being stuck and the cause that has created this effect, because that will really help to release you. But before we get started, I want to give a super huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. It is so good to hear from you. Thank you so much for your donations. Despite your situation, thank you for stepping up to the plate and reaching out and letting me know that the channel has been a positive resource for you, even if you've just started or if you've been with me for a couple of years. Thank you so much. You really do help to keep the channel alive and to help keep me inspired, to let me know that the content is really making sense to you and helping you to see things more clearly, helping you to sort some things out and create a shift and change in your life. So thank you so much for your generosity. And absolutely positively, if you would like to participate as well here on the channel, please do visit the About page. There is a PayPal Donate Now button. You can make a donation, whatever denomination you see fit. So thank you so much. And so we're zooming in and diving in on the problem of being stuck, of staying stuck in the delusion, staying stuck in the pathological lies, proceeding day to day in an unhappy, unfulfilled relationship where you feel that you know really on the tip of your tongue or in the back of your mind that things should be different for you, that you should be in a different place, you should be in a different lifestyle, you should be in a different job, you should be in a different relationship, you should be doing something more. You have this sneaky feeling that something isn't right, but you're just sort of going through the motions. You're putting up with, you are tolerating, you are coping, you are scraping by, you're kind of squeezing out as much as you can to try to stay in existence. You are in the struggle and survive state. And it is to understand that when really the cause has created this effect, so it's realizing that the relationship is not the cause, it is the effect of something different that is going on deep within you. So once you understand that the relationship is an effect of a cause within you, you're then able to attribute the locus of the issue, the relationship, the situation to within yourself. You're able to become empowered. You're able to see the locus of control. The source is within you. We are getting back to, once again, the locus of control is within, and it's not externalized. It's not outside of you, because as you externalize the locus of control, you are attributing power to that force which is outside of you, and then to adapt and adjust, you have to be a counter force to that force. So you stay in the perpetual reaction state. You become in the disempowered state. You begin then to contribute to the pathology, and it's because you are not seeing the value of yourself in a positive light. You're not attributing value to yourself. You are externalizing value to this person to be greater than you. And it sounds ultra simple, but it is to understand in those individuals who are personality disordered, or those people who are antisocial, those people who are psychopathic. They need to control others and have others dependent on them to survive. So they need to manipulate and deceive others. They need to be very persuasive in this, and they need to have others whom they are manipulating to get where they want to go in life. So they are going to be those people who take advantage of, who lead others along. They are those who then will keep others sort of just with, intermediary reward. In other words, not being authentic or genuine, or not letting you know how really things are. They're not letting you know the lowdown. They're just in a very superficial way keeping you stuck. And it's your beliefs about yourself really that are keeping that relationship there for you, and that dependency state. So it's, obliging to this person as better than, more important, in the right, or that is required for you to go on in life, which is the mindset which has created these self-limiting beliefs and the feeling that they are in the right. They are knowing more or better than yourself. So you're attributing this, and then subconsciously you're not seeing the exit. You're not seeing the next steps. You're not seeing that you deserve better. You're not feeling that you deserve better, so you're not taking action. You are becoming actionless. You're becoming a passive participant in life, and then in the relationship. And then you're over obligating. You're saying, well, I've always done it this way. This is familiar. I've always jeopardized myself. I've always sabotaged myself subconsciously. I've always made this mistake. I've always, attributed this person as the one with the talent, the money, the good looks, the ability to communicate. I need this person to lean on. All the songs that perpetuate the brokenheartedness, and then staying down and stuck, and then you're romancing the depression. You're romancing, you're singing the blues, and it's, you're drinking, drugging, smoking, eating bad food. You're making bad decisions. It becomes a lifestyle, and then your identity becomes wrapped around this depression. A lot of this is glorified in the media, and you become sort of a passive, participant to this sort of branding of being in the blues, being stuck, seeing things in the fog. And so if you've romanticized this and then had an identity that it's, you should just be shuffling along and being stuck, or you're not seeing the solution, or you're not feeling the solution, it's because you have devalued yourself. You've been afraid of the devaluation and the discard, so you're constantly staying in the coping defense mechanisms to maintain where you are. So you're feeling the fear. You're staying in that fear mindset, and then you're stuck in that ego. And to release and let it go is to understand, to rise above. And a lot of people say, well, it's very easy to say, a lot of people say, well, just get over it and rise above. But you can't really sort of lighten up and then see the solution and feel it really realistically within you until you are able to see that and let go of that pattern. So you need to kind of stop that pattern and being able to get perspective and seeing that you are enough. And then it is a feeling state to know that you can let go of that pattern, or that those solutions which are ego-based. So the way you're always seeing is sensitizing and then evaluating yourself oftentimes is stuck in the very pattern that has created it to begin with. So you need to be able to exit that and then see that you really don't fit in to the lies, and that is okay. To begin to say no more to the fear, to those lies which have been fed to you by this person or that community or that family. It is to understand the dynamics that have created that fear within you. You need to dissolve those. And it's to say, I understand those feelings of fear have been perpetuated by that sort of ego involvement. I am not, have been created and positioned and reaffirmed through either that person or the group of people or what you're always looking at have been reaffirmed, and that the you cannot feelings have been perpetuated by that. Even if you've always done it this way, it's to say holy shift rather than holy shit. A lot of people say, I can't do an exit strategy. I just can't do it. Well, you can't do it because you keep telling yourself you can't. You're not seeing the value within you. You're not feeling the value within you. It hasn't occurred to you as of yet. You're still staying stuck in that shroud of self-doubt. So you're still perpetuating those feelings. Well, things can never change for me. I cannot make it. It's too tough. I don't have what it takes. It's because you're telling yourself that you're staying stuck in that pattern. So you need to get into an awareness in a sense that I do matter. I am in a position where I can connect the dots to something greater. So you need to have that aha moment where you're extracted from that pattern and you're able to see you don't fit, you don't belong, you're unhappy, you're unfulfilled is because you don't fit in with the lies. It's not necessarily this person, but it's that mindset that you don't fit into that mold. You're not meant to fit in. That's why you're unhappy. That's why you feel unfulfilled, is because you're not meant to fit in. You're meant to stand out. You're meant to do something differently. But you've been feeling the resistance. You've been resisting, and then resistance makes it stronger. So it's kind of like the dog that is stuck with a leash, and then the more they try to pull away, the tighter it gets. So you stay set up in the tension because you're still stuck in the trauma bond. It's the ability to say that you can bow out, you humble yourself, and then you kind of slip out of that leash, if you will. You're staying a prisoner there because you're allowing it to be so. You're allowing that loop to be perpetuated within you. And so as if you humble yourself and then come within, you need to kind of, bow down to stand up. You really need to humble and humiliate yourself to say, there is something greater in my life that is meant for me. That's why I'm feeling this unhappiness in this self-limitation, because that limitation is intrinsic with the narcissist or psychopathic territory. That the territory that they create, that map of where you find yourself, is oftentimes because you are nothing but a source of supply to them. You are nothing but an obligation out of fear and guilt. That you are staying in that stuck mode. You're staying in that role. The role is perpetuated by a mindset. And so it creates this barrier that, you can't be yourself. You have to constantly be in a reactive or deferring state. So you can't grow, you cannot progress with a psychopath because they're always setting the rules. They're always setting the terms of engagement. They're always keeping you in a dependent state, addicted state. Once again, to look at the dynamics of a relationship with a psychopath, it is to say that this person has sort of engorged me with this feeling of adulation or reward. I feel a sense of reward with this person in adulation where I adore them above anything else, but it's to deny yourself in the process. So it is to take a look from this higher perspective as you sort of bow out, and then you become brutally honest, rigorously honest with yourself, and is to say, okay, if I can stop the loop and stop the pattern for just a moment, if I can see the truth and really see where my needs have not been met, and if I can be in a state of admittance to myself, I can admit that I am not being fulfilled in this manner because, and then list 1 through 10 or 1 through 20. If I could admit that I'm not happy here because it is because of, and list 1 through 20. The relationship is too much. I feel like I'm not being listened to. I feel like this person is always more important to me. I feel that this person is too caught up in this and I become too caught up in this. I feel this person doesn't, respect me. I feel this person is not here for me when. I feel that this person is always sort of distracted and then I create a fear or a paranoia. I'm experiencing too much procrastination. This person is always putting me off or putting off the commitment. I feel that I'm becoming sort of superficial, or I'm sort of procrastinating or putting my own needs off on the back burner too frequently because. So it's to admit this and to realize, you're not settling down with this person. Things aren't going anywhere. They are putting you off. They're stringing you along. It's to understand that you've had too many offset days and not enough bright days. You've seen too much fog and not enough clarity. You've seen too many limitations and not enough opportunity. You've seen too many barriers and not enough release of, and personal expression. You've had too many no's and not enough yeses. You've had feelings of abandonment and rejection and not enough acceptance and embracing. You've felt too much in that ego-based system and not enough liberation, where you're not stuck in I am good enough in all the conditions that are oftentimes set up by a psychopath. In other words, you're engaging in gratuitous sex. You're addicted to perhaps sexual acts or intimacy communications through text or Instagram or Facebook that are not really feeding of you in the authentic realm. You're not getting that growth or progress within you. You're not feeling that you're actually growing. You feel that you are obligating in only a very limited manner. So if you can step out and then humble yourself and then see for a moment and that the solutions are there for me. And if I were willing to admit the right thing for me to do, it would be to, and then list 1 through 20. It would be to spend some time on my own. It would begin to feel more self-reliant. It would begin to have a breather and begin to realize and feel that perhaps there is something better for me. It would begin to admit that I need to pay attention to my emotional health and actually value myself, and that it's going to maybe come from within, and I don't need to get caught up in their rat race. I don't need to get caught up in their games. I feel that this relationship is too gamey. It's stuck on that limbic, emotional reactive state, and it's not really sort of allowing me to hold my head up high, and I'm not feeling the self-respect. I'm feeling the self-denigration. I'm feeling too much of that here. So I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to humiliate myself so I can get out of that self-definition of good, bad. I can start releasing that determination that is based in the ego, that's telling me I'm not good enough. So all of those processes that are perpetuated by that ego mind are then let go, and then you're not living there in that perspective anymore. You're not living in that level. You're experiencing a holy shift. You're saying, instead of saying holy shit, I'm saying holy shift. And then the feeling then changes within you. You're no longer thinking the same way. You're not feeling the same way. You're no longer evaluating and living in the self-evaluation in that same way. You're in a new space where you're stopping the evaluation. You're stopping the criticism. You're stopping the valuation. You're stopping saying I'm not enough. You're stopping the feeling that I'm not enough, and you're stopping the fear. You're saying, wow, I realize that fear has become, judgment has become, the I am nots have become too much of my internal dialogue and my internal feel-a-log. So it's as if you have your body is the subconscious mind, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and the way your body communicates, you're stopping your body from communicating in that same negative way. So you're not feeding and fulfilling that negative validation cycle anymore. Your body is not flinching and flailing and feeling, and looking at yourself in the same way. You're stopping looking in the mirror all the time. You're stopping from checking, is this right? Is that right? Is my suit pressed just the right way? Are my shoes wedged just right? Is my tie cocked just the right way? Is my hair da 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 da? Is my text? All the high maintenance, stuff on Facebook. This can destroy people, the amount of time that they need to do just to sort of glue the relationship together. It is because you have denigrated yourself. You've simultaneously devalued yourself and staying stuck in the relationship at the same time. So the relationship is equated to judgment and self-denial and self-devaluation. So to stay stuck there is to kind of waffle over your own self. So it is seen that your own inner your own physicality. So we need to get down to the kinesthesiology of it, and how your DNA has actually stayed in that feeling state, in a quantum state, because the ego is the separation. It's to say, I'm divided from, I am not enough from. So it is to say, and keep thinking in that pattern. So it takes a lot of energy to frown, and it takes a lot of energy to repress. So when you are unhappy, it is because you are repressing some sort of truth. When you're unhappy, it's because you're repressing some event, some emotion, some truth. Your energy, you're trying to keep it stuck. You're keeping it hidden from your awareness. And you're oftentimes repressing something very hurtful, very painful, very much that was at the hands or the mercy of this previous event. So you need to understand the cause that's created this effect in your life and why it's led you to where you're at right now. And it's to say, okay, I am going to release the cause that's created this effect in my life. And so the fear oftentimes and the unhappiness was because you were experiencing someone who was setting these terms of negativity in your life. They were telling you, looking at you, treating you, denying you. They were not capable of giving you the love, the affection, and letting you be in that egoless state where you are good enough. Because when you value yourself, you're not stuck in the I am not good enough. When you have that self-valuation, you're autonomous and you're free to live. That is the natural state. Fear is not the natural state. Yes, I'm not saying be oblivious to what's in your environment. I'm saying look at within yourself and how you've perpetuated a cycle of fear that has kept this sort of very bounded up feeling within you. And so to release that is to live outside of that experience. And it's to say, I'm letting go of that feeling, which is, I'm letting go of that event, which has created the feeling. And then that person, if there's a person or persons, people that were tied to that have created that and set that into motion, is to say, okay, aha, I get it now. And this might span decades for you. This might be the bulk of your life. And it is okay, because you might sort of release that shell like a walnut. You might crack it open with the tools that have busted it open through the awareness. Your consciousness is like the nutcracker. Your higher consciousness, in the privacy or opportunity of this video, you're then getting into a release state. You're then sitting back and going, whoa, I am now suddenly able to relax. I'm able to sit back in my chair. I'm able to sit back in my couch at my desk, and I'm releasing all of a sudden. And I'm just experiencing a moment of existence. I'm experiencing an awareness that so much has been condition based in my life, and my feeling of self-valuation has been built or based on that all of a sudden, and I've surrounded and perpetuated myself with people, events, and situations which have reinforced that puzzle. And so it is the enigma that I'm releasing, that I am the missing piece. And when I do that, then the puzzle opens up and I'm in a whole new world. I'm then able to then be released of the dogma. I'm able to be released of that cycle of suffering. I'm able to release all that has set me there. And it could be a long time. But it can be released in a moment. And it is to release the complexity in saying, I'm now going to live in that simple be state. And it is a perspective. It is a consciousness where you're not grabbing for something in the future. Why are you trying to grab for something in the past? Why are you trying to grab for something in the future? Why can't you dissolve that and then live in that sort of egoless state, or that state which has been bound by all those decisions? And so it's to release that. And it's to say, okay, I'm not going to participate in that grabbing or that holding on, and I'm allowing that to be. So, and people say, well, why am I stuck? It's because you've perpetuated deep within your subconscious. You've stayed, well, I need to stay in this person. These are my roots. So you're attributing the roots to something outside of you versus something within you. So it's to say something, actually, I own it. It's to say, I own the power. I own the sublime. I own the divine intelligence. That runs rampant within me. Value runs rampant within me. The ability to be abundant or rich resides within me. It's running rampant like a raging river. That abundance, that value that flows just like through the floodgates, the floodgates run open, that runs through me. So to acknowledge and validate that, and to say, I have and I witness and I observe now within me the value and the talent that has been repressed. And so it's to look back and say, I see where this had cropped up. Even this is what I'm always been about since I was a young lass, a young lad, a whippersnapper, since I was just, a glimmer in the eye of my behold, of my divine creator, when I was just a spark. This is what I've always been about. So it's to embrace that internal goodness, but then to give it to yourself now as through all that time. And so it's like something that's been waiting. You're like the diamond in the rough. And once you see that, feel that, know that, then you'll be able to be released. You'll be able to say, no, I'm not wasting my time. My time is valuable. I don't do lies. I don't do lates. I don't do procrastination. I don't, and that's part of the book that I'm working on, is coming to terms with what you've been procrastinating. I've been procrastinating being happy. Happiness is a choice. It's something that you make. You go, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing life. I'm doing me today. I'm not doing lies today. I'm not doing everybody else today. I'm doing me today. This is what I'm doing, and this is the coolest. This is what I've been looking for. And to say I have it within is oftentimes contradictory to the force that's been keeping you there. So it's, that's why it's become so difficult, is because you have not been allowing this. You're saying, I can only do me for 5 minutes, or when you should be doing yourself 24/7, day in and day out. And to accept that more momentarily, moment by moment, is to say, yeah, I don't have to listen to the negative news. I don't have to hang out with the negative people. I don't have to live the lies. I don't have to conform or acquiesce to those standards. I can do that which lights my fire, my passion. And even if it's just a feeling state, that's the state to begin. And it's to begin the process. And so it's to release that, and then to stop the feeling, the decisions, the bad choices, and then you knock down the blockades of feeling, and then you then begin to shift, and you shift in your own eyes and then you don't have to shift in the eyes of the antisocial person, which is keeping you stuck, keeping you addicted, keeping you with that smile, that pathological glare, that evil look. It bounces off of you because energetically you cannot be manipulated. You cannot bite at their bait. You will not conform to those lies and that manipulation, and then you're free. And then they have no longer power over you. Your buddy, peace and harmony with you here today. I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Love you. Peace out.